Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we're diving into a disturbing story that goes all the way to the top of the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has been at the center of a massive money laundering and fraud investigation, and new evidence has recently come to light that blows this scandal wide open. Kelce, known for his flashy lifestyle and larger-than-life persona, has built a reputation as one of the league's biggest stars. But it turns out that the source of his wealth and success may not be as wholesome as it appears. Over the past year, federal investigators have been piecing together a web of criminal activity that allegedly implicates Kelce in a complex money laundering operation, as well as several high-profile scams that have defrauded countless innocent victims. Let's start with the money laundering allegations. According to sources close to the investigation, Kelce has been funneling millions of dollars in illicit funds through a series of shell companies and offshore bank accounts. These funds are believed to be the proceeds of various criminal enterprises, including drug trafficking, arms dealing, and human trafficking. Kelce allegedly used his status as an NFL superstar to provide a veneer of legitimacy to these shady financial dealings. He would invest the dirty money into various business ventures, then use the profits to make large purchases like luxury homes, exotic cars, and even a private jet. This allowed him to effectively clean the money and integrate it into the legal financial system. But the money laundering scheme is just the tip of the iceberg. Investigators have also uncovered evidence of several elaborate fraud and scam operations orchestrated by Kelce and his associates. One of the most egregious examples is a Ponzi scheme that bilked thousands of victims out of their life savings. Kelce and his team allegedly lured investors in with the promise of astronomical returns on their money. They used slick marketing materials, fake financial statements, and high-pressure sales tactics to convince people to hand over their cash. But instead of investing the funds as promised, Kelce and his co-conspirators simply pocketed the money and used it to fund their lavish lifestyles. When the scheme eventually collapsed, leaving many investors destitute, Kelce and his crew disappeared, fleeing the country and leaving the victims to pick up the pieces. It's estimated that the total losses from this scam alone could exceed $500 million. But the Ponzi scheme is just one example of Kelce's nefarious activities. Investigators have also uncovered evidence of a sophisticated real estate fraud scheme, where Kelce and his associates would allegedly purchase dilapidated properties, inflate their values through false appraisals, and then sell them to unsuspecting buyers at inflated prices. In some cases, the properties were even completely fictional, with Kelce and his team creating fake listings and documents to dupe buyers into handing over their money. This scam is believed to have cost hundreds of victims millions of dollars in losses. And the list goes on. Kelce has also been implicated in a wide range of other fraudulent activities, including credit card skimming operations, identity theft rings, and even a scheme to defraud the government through false tax returns. The sheer scale and complexity of Kelce's criminal enterprise is truly staggering. It's become clear that the NFL star has been living a double life, using his fame and fortune to cover up a sprawling web of illegal activities that have devastated countless lives. Now, as the investigation continues to unfold, the noose is tightening around Kelce and his co-conspirators. Federal agents have seized numerous assets, including Kelce's homes, cars, and even his private jet, and they are working to track down the stolen funds and return them to the victims. Kelce himself has been arrested and is currently facing a litany of charges, including money laundering, wire fraud, and racketeering. If convicted, he could be facing decades in prison and millions of dollars in fines. But the real question is, how did this all come to light? Well, it turns out that one of Kelce's own associates, a former personal assistant named Gents, has turned state's witness and is cooperating with the authorities. Gents, who was allegedly deeply involved in the money laundering and fraud schemes, has provided a trove of damning evidence that has helped prosecutors build their case against Kelce. According to Gents, Kelce was the mastermind behind the entire operation, using his celebrity status and connections to facilitate the criminal activities. Gents claims that Kelce was the one who recruited him and others to help carry out the scams, and that he was the one who ultimately profited the most from the illicit gains. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the NFL and the sports world at large. Kelce, once hailed as a model citizen and community leader, has now been exposed as a ruthless criminal who has left a trail of devastation in his wake. As the investigation continues, more details are sure to emerge, and it remains to be seen just how far-reaching Kelce's criminal empire truly was. But one thing is clear. The once untouchable NFL star is now facing a reckoning that could shatter his legacy and land him behind bars for a very long time.